Hello,
Yeah,
and welcome back to Restore Our Planet podcast with me, your host, Jack Cole. So today I'm joined by Yankuba Manneh, who is in the Gambia, calling in from a site that himself and the local communities have been looking after, which is called Feraso Forest. So first of all, Yanks, thank you so much for your time. Okay, so my first question for you is,
thank you so much.
of course, so
Yeah,
can you paint? Oh, and just a little thing, connection's a little bit poor today, but it should be fine. Okay, so we'll manage. So, can you paint a picture for
okay.
us? What makes Farasuto Forest such a unique and important place in the Gambia?
Yeah, Parasutu forest, is protected by the bird club. That's the bird club they living in in the community here called Flora and Tungina.
Okay,
So we trying to protect the forest and we sensitize the local people, how to stop deforestation, to cut down the trees, how to stop them. So we sensitize them, and try to protect the forest and make a ticket. So that ticket, like a 60% go to the community in the village, and the 40% go to the bird club. And that bird club, that's where we are. We protect the forest, like some of the fencing. We have some fund, but also that ticket, the money, we do some tree planting also in that forest because sometimes in the winter time, most of the people, local people, we have a challenges. Some of they cut the tree outside the forest, but we try to replace them.
okay, and what are some of the species of tree that locals plant?
Yeah, the mahogany tree, people plant that, and even mangrove, people plant it. The mangrove or and the locust bean tree, locust bean fig tree, they are all good for for planting. Because one fig tree, I think 15, 20 birds, different birds can feed on it, you know. So when the people cut down or you don't have it, that's mean, you are spoiling the nature.
Of course, and it takes decades for
So
mahogany, which is obviously a hardwood, isn't it, to regrow. So these processes take a very long time. And you mentioned some birds there. Could you
exactly.
describe to us some of the bird species that are dependent on these hardwood forests?
Yes. Yeah, this hot forest, good bird, first thing is the great eagle owl. You have in that forest, and you have a African wood owl.
Okay.
That's a special bird. Most of the entire Gambia, you have to go to Feraso forest to get that bird. You know, and also you have a white back night heron,
Okay.
and you
And
have a green puraco and violet puraco.
fantastic. Okay. All right. And tell me a
Yeah,
little bit about the importance of the forest a little bit more broadly now, in terms of what role does it play in the ecosystem? Perhaps,
yeah. The forest is a really natural forest. It's a really natural forest. So when like people we don't sensitize the local people to stop the you know destroying the forest in next generation, like our next generation, they don't know the forest. They cannot even know the forest. So what advantage we have? We have this natural forest in our village here. So the best way we protect it for future generation. Yeah, our generation now we understand, sorry, between the our generation we understand, how to protect the forest, the importance of the nature. We understand it, but our parents' generation, some of they don't know about that. What they think they just chop down and make a settlement, make a garden. That's what belief they have. But our generation is get, people try to understand. So people try to understand that's us. We have a bad club here. So we sensitize many people. Some of they coming to understand it, how important in the nature, you know. Because when you come to the world the global, climate climate system, sometimes we have
of course. And tell me what role that education is playing with future generations, with the new generations coming up. Are they is a sense of this conservation? the importance of conservation, is that being carried down to younger generations?
Yeah, it's coming down to the young generation because most of the young generation now they understand wildlife and they follow much about this wildlife, but butterfly, even the trees, you know. So the thing is, people understand like us, we have to exercise more to do our effort, you know,
And
people to know much about because this last week, I saw big difference, Gambia and Senegal. I really saw big difference. I was so impressed in Senegal.
tell us about what you experienced in Senegal that was better or better managed than the situation in the Gambia.
Well, Gambia and Senegal, we Gambians, we are very lucky. Our landscape is living in the natural nature, you know. Anything like the palm trees, canopy forest, any tree can grow in Gambia. But when you go to Senegal, in North where I went last week, they have a desert. They have a desert. They have only one type of the tree in five deep in Senegal. They have only acacias and the desert land. But the beginning of Senegal, that's where they plant these mangrove trees. And the trees there, they are very important. Even if it is dry in the nature, you cannot take it off. Like the
Okay,
local people, they really, really protect their forest, and I definitely like that, you know.
fantastic. And you mentioned the Bakru
Yeah.
people, the community that you're with now, Bioferocy. So could you share with us a story or perhaps some traditions that connect the local people to the land and particularly the forest?
Yeah, out of the forest, people have a local private land. Our how to call it, business plan. When we like to have that private land to add to make it extra possible to be extra, but it was very difficult. So what natural place in possible like a 4 by 5 hectares? That's how we protect it. So still we are following the local people, and also it is very hard if you don't have a support that to get the private land for the local people. Very difficult.
Of course, of course. So it's very much community led, as it's their
Exactly.
area,
Yeah.
and since it's best, of course, that they um take stewardship and encourage to do so. Okay, so
Exactly.
Farasito is one of the last remnants of Guinea Congo forest in the country. So what are some of the biggest threats facing it today? So this could be local, this could be a bit more global. Yeah, so what are the biggest threats to the forest and its continuity?
That's the local people and the livestock, you know, to get the toilet and clean yourself, and also the bath also, because the Paracordon people, many visitors come during the tourist season. I can say every day, people visit Paracordon forest. So what they need there, they need a borehole, and to create the photo hive, the bird also and the mammal can have access to drink, and the people as well.
Of course, of course. And you mentioned tourists there. So I hear that bird watchers love to flock to the Farasito because it's a unique species and unique wildlife. So tell me, have bird watchers and tourism more generally, tell us how they have been a blessing and tell us how they have been a challenge.
Yeah, we bird watcher, the thing we do our effort, and we have association in Gambia, and also our club also in the village where we have a bird club also. So we all are the same thing. We
A
want to do
bird
the
club?
conservation. Yeah, we got the bird club in the Gambia here.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we all doing our effort, how to do the conservation. So when you come to the government or the land, they don't focus on the nature. What they propose to develop, building the tree does nothing. They only build the houses and make a new settlement. but to create to protect it, side like doing the conservation, they don't have knowledge about that.
Well, of course. And what are some of the rare species that people have spotted in the Farasuto?
Yeah, Parasuto, they have a very different, rare one, because when you come to great eagle owl, the whole Gambia, if you want to spot easily, you go to Parasuto forest. Yeah, and the African wood owl as well.
Okay, fantastic. Okay,
Yeah, and the white back night heron, those are all cracking birds. They are good birds to see.
all right,
Yeah, and
fantastic.
also they have a feeder whereby they put the water to the pan, whereby the birds come to drink. So we make a bench in the forest, and people stay time there, and most of the birds are get to see for hydrated spotted honey picnic pizza, they all come down that water hole whereby they have a water. So most of the photographers, but just sit on and wait them, and they have fantastic pictures.
Well, so we'll certainly share some of those photos.
They need a photo height, maybe tower, because if you have a tower there, you can see River Gambia.
Tower.
You can see the River Gambia. Yeah, the tower. Yeah, the
Okay,
platform. Yeah,
okay.
and also they need a tree planting. The borehole. Yeah, that's what they. But the first option is with the pole brandy. That will be a photo height.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
photo
the first
hide.
option. That's the plan A. Even I can.
So the general plan is to invest in tourism with like a viewpoint, a tower, some photo heights, and then tree planting.
Yeah, exactly. The tree planting also will be entire. Maybe the region of the where the forest located, the region of our here. We can make like a 2,000 or 3,500 trees to plant it.
And finally, Yanks, where can
Yeah,
people find you
yeah.
if they want to get involved, donate, or generally support your work?
We have a club already. Bird watching club in the village. Not only like me, I'm also part of the club.
So I'll find any sort of relevant
So it's like,
links or anything that can be helpful so
mm,
people can get in touch if they want to. But yeah, so thank you, Yanks. So we've had a
yeah,
rundown there on the Farasuta Forest, okay, where it's located
yeah,
in the Gambia, some of the challenges it's faced, which seem to be sort of intergenerational regarding urbanization, settlement growth,
right,
and therefore some of the issues with deforestation. So the community is looking
yep,
for funding in terms of
yep,
building the tourism, opening it up
yep,
for a wider advocacy, so people can get more
right,
involved, and hopefully local people who are leading this project and the Farasito Community Nature Reserve can
yep.
prosper and pass down the forest to future generations. We've had the opportunity to learn a lot more about Yanks and the brilliant work that he's doing. So, Yanks, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, hopefully we
Thank you so
can
much.
check in sometime in the future. Okay. Thank you so much.